survivor. So I had to do a lot of research about what it's like to have a burn injury. So that meant talking to a lot of people who had survived burn injuries, and a lot of doctors, and a lot of nurses, and reading a lot about burn injuries. So I learned a lot about burn injuries, probably too much to the point where it was a lot of information and kind of scary. But I really enjoyed talking to the burn survivors and hearing their stories. And I kind of took everything they told me and put it into Ava and created that character out of everything these people told me. So I think that was probably the biggest thing I learned was um, just about burn survivors. In terms of writing, I also learned that the story can change at any time. The story changed a lot while I was writing it. Different drafts ended up differently, and you kind of have to just go with the flow and change the story. And if you want to have the best book in the end. So, and then let's see. The second question was, oh gosh, what was the second question? Do we have it there? Oh, criticism. Well, I have a mother, so she criticizes everything I do, of course, because she's my mother and that's what they do. So I it's fun when I send my books to my mom, I'm always the most nervous to send my books to my mom, more nervous than anyone else, because there's something just about your mom, right? When if you want them to love it. And my mom does love this book, but of course she always has things that she thinks I could do better because that's what moms always do. So she always has ways I can improve my books. In terms of criticism, I don't. I mean, I don't. I don't know. I haven't gotten any major criticism. I actually don't read. You know how you can go online and you can leave a review for a book? I don't know if you've ever done that or if you've ever read the reviews. I try not to read those because they mess with your head as a writer. If it's a really good review, then you think, oh, I'll never write anything good again. Or if it's a really bad review, you think, oh, I'm terrible. I should stop writing. So I try not to read the reviews because they don't help me be better. They just get in my head and make me worry about it. So I try not to read them. I figure if there's really something wrong, my editor will tell me that there's something wrong. So I trust my editor on that one. And then your third question was, what can you do to as a teenager now to be a writer? Okay. I think the best thing you guys can do if you're interested in writing, and really, even if you're not, is just read, read, read. Read everything you can get your hands on. Read lots of different books about lots of different people, and just keep reading. I think that's the number one thing you can do right now. And if you're serious about writing, then also write every day, even if it's just a little snippet, a journal. Write something every day. It's kind of like a muscle, like when you work out. You have to do it every day. So start now and just, write a few, like 100 words every day, write something. So I know that's kind of basic advice. I'm telling you to read and write, obviously, but that's really all there is to it. Those are the two biggest things. Sorry, I didn't. Okay. Um, yeah. So how do you feel after writing a book? You feel exhausted. You feel like you've ignored your kids for a year and you need to pay attention to your family a little bit. Writing a book is really for me, it's really hard for me to like get back into real life. I'm like in this place in my head and I'm writing and then I have to get out of that and back to my real life. So that's hard for me sometimes is to when I'm done writing the book to get back to my real life and to put the characters away for a minute because they're always in my head, they're always talking to me. But after you write a book, when I finish Stars Like Wings, it's such an amazing feeling to know that you've done something beginning to end, and you finished it, even if it needs a lot of work, because every book's gonna need a lot of revision. It's such a wonderful feeling to know that you've created this thing that wasn't there before, and that's kind of amazing to put something out into the world that didn't exist before. There's very few chances in life to do something like that, and writing is one of them and I love it. I'm addicted to it. So, and then the second part of your question. Oh, yeah. I don't love. Let's see. I don't love like high fantasy. So like really fantastical worlds. So I like more contemporary, which means it's more realistic, like it could happen in real life. I don't mind if there's like a little bit of magic or fantasy, but I tend to like things that are more realistic. But I do read some fantasy. Like I said, it's important to read things that even that you don't love every once in a while, just because you need to see what's out there and what people are writing. But I wouldn't just go to a bookstore and pick up a fantasy novel. I would more pick up a realistic novel.